reformed and resilient, only thing comes to mind.
Thank you.
And it does. Reformed and...
I'm going to give you one more guess.
I fucking don't know.
Regulated.
Regulated. Fucking remember that. Reformed and regulated. So.
Right.
So.
Here we go. Episode 2.
All right, episode 2. Reformed and...
Regulated.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was good. That's smooth.
Hey, everybody.
Than what the shots I was doing last night.
Oof. You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
How's things going?
Things are going. The first episode, I feel like we learned stuff. You guys gave us good feedback. Here we are doing it a second time. Like,
look, it was really good. I enjoyed it sitting here talking. Like,
yeah.
I even learned a few things about what you do and where it come from and all that. And a lot of other people did too.
Yeah.
Right? Like quite a few other people learned a lot more about you and what you do.
And I come in and I feel like it's a good opener now for people that I might not talk to you about my everyday life all the time. They're like, hey, how are the deer going? Like,
right?
That's cool.
Especially with 4,700 of them and you know,
God.
I mean.
Yeah.
We had like 457 of them or something, I think. I don't know. It's quite a few.
Seems like it.
But like, thanks guys. Like, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We had all kinds of people tell us that they really liked it. And quite a few people asked like, when's the second one?
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as we get together and get another one, it'll be fucking great.
And again, we're winging it. Like, we're changing some things with our setup. We're getting new equipment. Like, we're doing kind of stuff. So we're learning as we go. But it was fun to do the first one.
So, and like I said, we've discussed a few things about us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To learn from each other about doing this. So, so yeah. It's pretty wild, though, when you put yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
So,
I guess,
few things.
Well, before we, I guess in case they pick up any background stuff, we do have the ERG Challenge. A team is going right now in the gym. So
yeah, so what we did was I had this idea and I ran it by all the coaches. Was like, you know, I want to do this thing that's a team building thing for the members of the gym. We get people together that maybe don't work out in the same class or really see each other, right?
Yeah.
Which happens a lot in CrossFit gyms.
Yeah.
People work out at 5 a.m., that's their class. Don't never meet people that work out at 5:15 or an evening class. And then this kind of helped maybe blend that a little bit.
Yeah. And I feel like we did the scavenger hunt last year. Yes. And that was kind of an individual thing, which was fun to have people like going out and recording what they were doing and sending stuff in, trying to win prizes. But this one was good to force people kind of to be together. And
so the idea is I would write one workout that involved nothing but the ergs. It involved the monitors, the time or the distance on that, involving you as an individual, depending on how I write, or as a team, get together to kind of complete that challenge. And it'd be one workout a month. You had all month to get it done. So you could only, and I did ask that as a team when you only did it once.
Yeah.
So that way not everybody felt like they were being pushed into doing. I don't want to do them multiple times either. One time's enough.
Yeah.
But as an individual, I said, you want to do them multiple times, you're more than free to. You can do them as many times as you want. I don't know why you really want to, but have fun.
I will tell my team I will not be doing that, but if they want to, they can.
Here's my distance, guys, and this is what I'm doing.
You gotta live with it. I'm the captain.
She's like, I'm the captain. This is it. So we have the last team going right now. So if you do pick up any music or 3, 2, 1 goes, they're out there completing their monthly ERG challenge.
This one was fun because you had to get just max calories in a 30-minute time span. So it was the ski erg, the rower, and the bike erg, and you got to choose. You had freedom to choose how you broke it up. So different teams have done different timing things. If you wanted to go for 50 seconds on one, have a transition, get on the next one. Yep. Or one team did 3 minutes.
I know.
That's horrible.
That's wicked.
If I would rebel on that team.
Yeah, I'm done.
Not a fucking chance.
I'm done. Here's my minute, guys.
Yeah.
Minute. I've seen some minutes. 50 seconds. We did 50 seconds and then rotated. 55 seconds and rotated.
One did 90.
One did 90, and then Carrie's team did a minute 50.
Yeah. It was really just you have to consider your other teammates. Yeah. And because not everybody's the same strength on each machine or on machines in general. So
Yep.
you have to base it off your team and take care of them and make sure.
I wanted it because I wanted to build more of a community, right?
Yeah.
Like get the community together, and it'll happen. It's once a month. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Troy just said to comment out there. Troy was like, he's like, I didn't think this through. He goes, I hate that commitment thing. I got 1 month. I said, it's one time a month.
Right.
Come on, buddy.
That's like the least strict commitment you can have.
I know, right? So yeah, getting everybody together. So, I think it'll be fun over time. Like next month's going to be an individual.
Yeah.
Like you get to do it as an individual.
Yeah.
So you can come and go as you kind of want with your team. Talk about your team. Strategize with them where you want to be on it.
Yeah.
Which one you want to do. So it'll be good. I'll release it. These guys are almost done. I'll probably release it at the end of the week. That way you guys can start thinking about it, deciding what you want to do.
Can't wait to think about it for a whole month.
I know, right? What do you want to do?
Oh gosh.
You had a nice call, I heard.
I had some exciting things happen this week. So the first episode we talked about one of your friends.
Yeah.
Actually, we just mentioned his name, mentioned some things about him, and he went and looked at the Skull Shop's social media. He went through all my stuff. He got my process down from the posts he saw. And he got a hold of Jason and was like, give her my number, tell her to call me.
Yeah, so what we did was we were talking last week about starting businesses and stuff, and one of my buddies in Alabama, Jason Newman, he'd want to buy a gym, and we talked about it briefly, and he ended up jumping in and he did it, and he got a hold of me when it was over and was like, hey, you mentioned me in a podcast, that was a surprise. And he said, I've been following Mariah's, like, I've been looking at her stuff, like, I think I could help her. I was a taxidermist for 30 years. Look, blew my wig back a little bit, right? Like, I didn't even know that about him. So, like, I knew he was in the pool business because we had talked about that when me and him had the phone call about the gym. And he threw that out there. It was like, I was a taxidermist for 30 years. And I was like, what?
Like, wow, yeah, I should call you because whatever you're going to tell me is probably really valuable.
So he's like, have her call me. I think I can help her. And I was like, for sure. And, and I brought up to him, like, Maggie has been talking about taxidermy, like full on taxidermy stuff. And there's not a lot of them left. Like a lot of like him, like he sold his business 3 years ago. A lot of them, no, don't take this wrong, Jason, old timers.
You're one of those.
I know, I'm fucking one of them. A lot of them old timers like aren't doing it anymore. And the new group doesn't want to do it.
I mean, that's why I've been so successful this year because people aren't doing it.
Yeah.
Which is good for me, but.
Of course. So I said, hey, I called you and told you, hey, maybe you should call this guy. He's got some things he might want to help you with.
And that's scary for me because I'm not a good over the phone person. I get anxiety about that kind of stuff, but I know that when I feel like that in situations, that's when I should do those things because that's going to help me grow. Mm-hmm. So I did. I called him and we had he was about to go into a CrossFit class and he told the class, he's like, hey guys, I got to take this. Like, I'll be back. I'm like, you can call me later. He's like, no, I could talk about this all day. But he gave me some really good tips and it is going to save me time. Like just talking about setup, because I have like the 4 pots going right now that I've just been winging it, trying to adapt this year. But he's like, invest in a cast iron and that's going to hold your heat more.
Nice.
So you're going to save on like propane, which is my biggest cost. He's like, have somebody weld you a wind guard, because we talked about the wind coming off the field, blowing my flame out. Like I have to stay out there to monitor
to make sure
things.
they're still lit. Because you go in the house and relax and walk back out and nothing's going on.
Yeah.
It's running your propane and run a tank dry.
Mm-hmm. Dry. Especially when I'm trying to thaw things out right now. I need it to run.
Like, and you can be mad at the wind, but what are you going to do?
Yell at it. Like I'm out there in the soccer field like, son of a bitch. Oh my God. I do too. But he's like, invest in those 2 things. And then I don't want you to he said he didn't do it this way. He did like a lot of experimenting with things. He's like, don't skin them.
Which is
like,
wild,
what?
right? Was that wild to hear?
Yeah. He's like, I literally can take one out of the freezer, frozen solid, drop it in that cast iron pot, 8 hours. You pull it out. The hide helps hold the heat in too.
Oh.
And he's like, you can take a garden hose to it.
They just blow it all out.
And like I'm, high and low heat, like skinning takes a lot of my time, but then I pull them out, I use the light pressure washer on them, then I have to put them back in sometimes if things aren't super. He was like, do that. And he's like, I know you're busy, I know you have the other jobs, do it on the weekend, get a pot big enough you can put like 6 of them in. If you do that 2 days, that's 12 that you're going to get done in a weekend. And the whitening process, he's like, because of the pool business,
Yeah.
he said, this is what you need to buy. Put it half and half with water. Like, told me the name of the stuff I need to buy. Put the skulls in there. Leave them sit for 12 hours. I was like, you don't have to heat that part? He's like, no. So that's going to save me.
That'll save you more propane too.
Yep. So, I
Nice.
mean, I could get 12 done with minimal effort in 2 days.
Especially, and you could walk away and go do other things this way.
yeah.
Like you could go do
Yeah.
other things in your house or whatever else you may want to do that way.
Because that's, especially with it being cold, that's the hardest part, is having to be out there all the time, watching all the little things and doing all the little things. And
Especially skinning.
yeah.
Like, you guys noticed that one post that one day, your hand, you were showing the split in that, and you're like, they're frozen.
Yeah, I can't do anything. I have 4 sitting in the garage right now that I've had all week because they've just been frozen solid.
Huh.
And I have a heater in the garage, but I have to run propane to run that. And are they going to thaw all the way? Am I going to have time to thaw them out and then skin them right then? Or are they going to freeze again overnight? So hopefully today they're good enough, since it's been in the 30s, to
Cool.
do it.
It's supposed to have some 50s, I heard, by next weekend.
Oh my God.
I seen a 50. So I've
That'd
been
be
looking.
amazing.
I know if it'd be dry 50, like I may have you guys run. But
Okay.
anyway, Jason,
Yeah, no.
Jason, thank you.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, that
for
meant a
helping
lot
her
to me
out.
to talk to somebody with that much experience in it. And it's cool that that's how we got connected.
Yeah.
Was this.
Pretty
Like,
wild. Yeah, because it's funny when you talk about meeting people. Like, I'll never forget, I was at Masters Fitness Collective that year when this guy walked up to me and was like, are you Jason? And I'm like, you always feel weird and you're like, I don't know how to answer that
Should
because
I
I
be?
don't know
Did
whether
I
I
do
am me or
something
not,
wrong?
right? Did I do something to cross you?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, I'm Jason Newman. Like, following you on the, Mayhem leaderboard. And like,
Yeah.
he says, I watched your YouTube videos. He goes, and I watched your I'm like, dude, cool. Like, that's awesome.
Right, yeah.
Right? So the coincidental part, and this becomes the most weirdest thing in the world, because at that point in time, me and Tim were training in the garage, right?
Oh, yeah.
So my training partner, I'm Jason. My training partner is Tim, right? This guy comes up and introduces himself, and me and Jason become good friends. His training partner is Tim.
So weird.
Tell me about
So
it.
weird.
So like, like coincidence or not, whatever you
Yeah.
believe, like me and Jason, we've become good friends, and like, I know we don't talk or text as much as we should, but I know if we pick it up, like we go
Right.
right away. But like it's just weird that his training partner's name was Tim too. So like, just a
You guys
funny,
were meant to
just
meet
a,
up
yeah,
and-
we were meant to be friends.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep.
It is. So yeah.
Oh my God.
What else?
So
You-
speaking of Masters Fitness Collective, what do you have going on right now that you're getting ready for?
So look, so like when I opened the gym, right? We opened this place, and like after going for the games and so forth, like I was like, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna kick back, and
And nobody believed you.
nobody did. Nobody fucking believed me. I don't know why. So me and Josh and a buddy of mine from Tennessee, Brian, we got a hold of him, and we found Fresh Coast. It's up in Michigan. It's on the beach up at Lake Superior. We found this. I know it would be badass. We found the qualifiers for him. Carrie actually did. She sent them to me. She said, you guys should try this. So, like, it's not just me. Like, she pushed me into it too. So we signed up to do qualifiers.
How's it going?
They're done. I mean, that's it.
That's
Look,
good.
I'm in nowhere near the same type of qualifier shape that I was years ago, like when we were going
Yeah.
for the games out of the garage and so forth. At all. Like,
Yeah.
I know that. I'm also doing this other qualifying event. I'd signed up for it first, actually.
Yeah.
As an individual, I'd signed up for the Adirondacks Fitness Festival or Fitness Challenge, and it's up at Lake Placid at the Olympic facility.
So cool.
It would be wild, right?
Yeah.
In New York. But they had this is their first year, I think, of their master's group.
Okay.
So I was like, see where I'm at,
Why
right?
not?
Like, I'll try them out.
Yeah.
So I signed up for them, and then we got into this, and we just finished those, and they just released the other workouts on Friday. So they're out now. We're done with one. I'm going to jump into another. But like I said, I'm not nowhere near like full-on qualifier shape.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing
Well, you've been living your life too.
well,
so.
like, that's the biggest thing, right? Like, I'm trying to find this big, huge balancing
Yeah.
act, right?
Mhm.
Like, I'm finding this balancing act of like running a business, managing the gym, writing programming, coaching, making sure you guys have everything you need to be able to do your job here for me. Right. And make my wife, my kid with her
All
pig
the
projects,
things she has going
right,
on.
and school. Trying to manage all of that, trying to find a good balance where I can make sure that nothing suffers.
Right.
Like making sure everything's good.
Yeah.
Like
you're not pouring too much into one and none in the other.
And I don't want to. So there's a few things. Number one, I always said you should sink 100% into one thing and not 47% into 47 things.
I'm bad at that.
I think a lot of us are, and I'm trying to find that balance of the same thing as doing fitness is like, you can't be great at one or two things doing this.
Yeah.
You need to be good at all of them. That makes you more well-rounded.
Yes.
Right? So like if I can do good at balancing all of these things, then I feel like I'm doing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because back in the day, it wasn't like that. Back in the day, it was literally,
full-blown, like,
it was,
this
you
track,
don't miss
that's
fucking
it.
training.
Yeah.
You don't miss the way you eat, the way you track, the recovery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I can remember like it was, you ate the same boring shit every day as food is fuel.
Right.
Period.
Yep.
Right?
And a lot of people struggle with that.
A lot of people do. A lot of people struggle with the fact of like if you have certain goals.
Yeah.
Like
this is not, like, being in the gym is not going to be the ultimate solution.
Right. And this is where, and there's a few things to this. Number one is I think we as a gym tend to bring people into the gym in the wrong. I try not to sugarcoat it up front.
Right.
And tell them that the fitness is the better part of getting you to ultimately
being healthier,
losing weight. It's a key component in
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
Right. So like the bottom of the pyramid in CrossFit is so true.
Yeah.
Your nutrition is where it's at.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? The way you eat, what you eat, how you eat,
Yeah.
all of that.
We say all the time, you can't outwork the bad diet.
Listen, look, let me talk about that real quick. So it's an old saying, right? You're not going to outwork a bad diet. I want to be the guy that tries to beat that right now.
We're in an experiment.
Don't listen to me. I say it all the time. I'm trying to be the guy that just outworks the bad diet. I know I never will. Don't get me wrong.
You're putting up a good fight, though.
I'm trying. I'm going down swinging.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I always talk about that to everybody because like, fuck, I love Little Debbie's.
I was going to say,
like,
what was your breakfast this morning?
Listen, it wasn't breakfast. It was my snack after breakfast.
Okay. Balance.
Look, I'm just going to throw it out there. The new strawberry hearts from Valentine's Day might be my new favorite one.
Oh my God.
So
I'm
anyway.
sure you'll come in after people listen to this and there will be like little suck up gifts.
Right?
Bring you those.
Hey, I'll stop.
How many people brought you friggin' Christmas trees?
Oh my God, they are so good, right? Christmas trees are the best.
I've never had one.
What?
No, I had one. I think you made me try one.
You're gonna have to try one of these hearts with me too.
Okay. Maybe we can do taste reviews for Little Debbie's.
Coming to you soon.
Maybe they'll sponsor you. Could
Little
you imagine?
plop off. Oh, that
You
would
could go to these competitions and have like Little
Little
Debbie
Debbie
as a
across my
sponsor.
shirt. It'd be a fat fitnesser. Why is that guy so
my
big?
God.
Oh, read his shirt.
But you still made it.
But I still made it. So yeah, like, and I know, look, the year I thought I had my best chance to get there, I was 36th. And I say that not gloating about it. I say that because I knew the things I was still not giving up
Yeah.
to not get to top 20.
Right. Yeah.
I knew what I wasn't at that point going to sacrifice. And that was some of the leftover time that I had that could have went to training or recovery. I wasn't going to give that up to be away from to give up time with my wife and my kid.
Yeah.
Right. So like I was still holding a full-time job at that point in time. And I still was a little loose with my diet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I was 95% of the time I wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I took the same thing every day to lunch.
That I feel
Every
like
day.
even not on a competition level, if you want certain goals, like I've had to learn that. I've had to adjust so many times in this past 5 years of my weight loss journey. But you have to be strict with yourself, and it's not exciting. I mean, you're Little Debbie's, I'm Uncrustables. We all have our thing, okay?
Listen,
I'm not giving
I
those
don't
up either.
understand those.
If I tell people I eat a peanut butter and jelly, it sounds more professional, but I fucking eat Uncrustables
She said eating
every
peanut butter
day.
jelly is professional.
But I do. I eat the same breakfast. I take the same stuff to lunch, and I drive a lot for work. So it's easy to. It's stuff that's going to be easy. I can't take stuff to warm up because places don't have microwaves.
Yeah.
So I have to adjust to that. But I trying to get protein, so I have to be picky when I pick the things I'm going to take to work, and it's just the same stuff over and over.
But it's still quality,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
It's not just getting by on, I got to take this because I
Right.
can't heat this up.
Right.
Like you still find the quality
You make
in.
choices that are going to benefit you.
Of
still.
course,
Yeah.
you just happen to work around your not being able to heat food up
Right.
by eating other quality things that don't need
Yes.
heated up.
Yep.
Right.
And for dinners, like, I can be a little more lax, but I still try to make it heavy protein. And that's a lot of chicken and rice. That's a lot of the same things still over and over. But
Carrie made a comment this morning that I'd never heard her say it this way before, and it made sense. Then it just made sense. Most of the shit she says makes sense anyway,
absolutely.
right?
We know that.
She said something that resonated more, and it hit me a little different when she said it this way. Food is simple. The diet part is simple. It's not easy.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like
You
that's
can look
pretty
at it.
wild.
You know what to do. You know
It's
how it should
just so it's not easy.
be. To make those choices? No. It's
Well,
not.
no, because it's so much easier to grab a fucking
Bag of chips.
Hot Pocket and a bag of chips.
Yeah, because that's quick. And it's also foods like that are like they make your brain happy.
2 minutes on a Hot Pocket. Listen, I'm fucking
Oh
guilty.
my
I
God.
eat a Hot Pocket in a fucking heartbeat.
yeah.
I fucking love Hot Pockets, right? So like 2 minutes on a Hot Pocket, simple, and fucking pop a bag of.
Oh my God, I could eat a whole bag of chips.
Oh, jeez, me too. Like, I'd
Also,
sit down
we
and eat
are
some
like
chips.
the same on this level
yeah.
too. If we did not control ourselves, we would be very unhealthy.
What'd she call me? I'm a fat kid with a fitness problem.
Yes.
I need a shirt. It says a
Yeah.
fat kid with a fitness problem. That's what my wife had said.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's true.
listen.
Because we know how that stuff makes our brain feel. I used to be upset. I would drink so much Mountain Dew and I could eat so many chips in one sitting. And I struggle now still. I never feel full because I don't know. I had a problem for so long. I never feel full. So I also have to make good choices with my portion control.
Yeah.
And being in a relationship is hard too. Josh has to learn how I react
Yep.
to things like food triggers and
So us for a long time, and this has happened for a long time. Like when we got into this, finally, like we had a WAG fitness coach, online fitness coach, whatever, life coach, basically is what WAG is. We both did for a while. Like she's done so much studying and learning, and Carrie's had food issues, right? For a long, she had them. Like most. I don't mean to say this, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but most females.
yeah.
A lot of females that I know had food issues,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have a bad relationship with food.
Right.
So like over the years, a lot of what things we learn is like until I got on board with it, it was hard for her
Yep.
because I didn't really care because
It
didn't.
wasn't your mindset. It wasn't your relationship with it. So you didn't know what you were doing, how it affected
Exactly.
her.
So when I did get on board, it
Yeah.
made it easier for her. And
Yeah.
then when I realized that I got on board, we realized that we were going to eat differently.
Yep.
So there was no making one meal
Right.
and sitting down and eating
The same things,
thing
the same
across the
portions.
board.
Yes.
So like
That's
we
huge.
get home, she makes her meal, I make mine, and we sit down and we eat together.
You
though.
can still have that time together. It just doesn't have to be all the same. And I am a big, one of my weird things is if it's on my plate, and I think it goes back to like growing up,
You're gonna eat
you
it.
had to clear your plate before
Finish
you
it.
could get up. If it's on my plate, I will eat it. And then Josh, he he would try to put food on my plate for me, get my plate ready. And I'm like,
don't do that. Let me put it on
Yes.
because I know how much that.
I
Because
know
I know
how
if
much
you
I need.
if you load me 2 spoonfuls, I'm eating 2 spoonfuls when I should have. I only really needed or wanted one.
Right.
I get
But
it.
if you short me, I'm like, is it because I'm fat? Like,
Then it starts to play tricks in your
Yeah.
head, which is not anything what he meant.
no, not even close. So now we're on the same page. He just lets me do it.
Yeah.
And
And that's cool.
yeah,
That
it takes
learning-
a lot of learning.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
Oh.
and that's what I mean, and trying to make people understand. Like honestly, like there was always an old saying too that was like abs are made in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is just one part of it. Like the fitness thing, and I make the joke about outworking a bad diet because I'm not strict with my shit
Yeah.
as strict as I used to be.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I'm happy now.
And
Where
that's
I'm
the
at.
big thing.
Like I am you have to be happy where you're
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
And me and Brian had this conversation yesterday. Like I called him and he was having a meltdown about the qualifiers. And hey, I haven't been lifting for performance. He goes, I've just been lifting and kind of pulled back because
Yeah.
he went to the games on a team.
Mm-hmm.
The Masters games, they called and invited him. He had a couple months to get ready. He went. He said, since then I've been kind of He
Yeah.
says, I feel like I got burnt down. He goes, so now I'm just kind of maintenance. And I'm like, listen, you have to go into it not thinking about where you used to be.
Yes.
And this goes across all things. This
Yeah.
isn't just for him. This is for anybody.
Yeah.
Like you got to quit worrying about where you used to be
Mm-hmm.
and not worry. Be happy where you're at now. Look, we're doing this because there's a chance we qualify. Me, him, and Josh get together. We go up and work out on a beach
Yeah.
in Michigan,
Yeah.
right? We go up and we do this together as a team.
Right.
And if we don't, we don't. Not a big
Right.
deal. Like I told him, I said, we'll find another one. He goes, I really want to throw down with you. I'm like, we will eventually.
Yeah. And you're still, it's like the experience getting there is still cool to have.
Right? It gives me that little bit of, keeps me on that edge.
Yeah.
Right? Like gives me that little bit of edge to go out here and bury myself a little harder
Right.
than I would in class.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more on the line
Yes.
when I signed up to do it. We're trying to not let my teammates down.
Right.
Right.
I think that's, and I think doing things like our local competitions,
Yeah.
we have what, 6 teams?
You guys have 6 teams.
6 teams going to a competition next Saturday.
Yeah.
And I think it's great to do things like that. I know people think, oh, you got, being competitive. It's not even about being competitive. It's signing up, having that accountability, having a partner to do it with too. Haley and I had never done handstand push-ups before we signed up for this competition.
So what did it do?
It forces you to work on things and have goals and get to those.
See, and when
Like,
I say I'm not in qualifier mode anymore, or level
Yeah.
what I used to be, I've gotten away from doing that
Mhm.
because I'm happy where I'm at. Like I've been doing a lot more bodybuilding stuff,
Yeah.
and it's also helped heal a lot of the things in me that were nagging from when I did
Right.
compete.
Yeah. Yep.
Because in all actuality, like the competition side isn't the healthy side.
Yeah.
It's not mentally or physically.
Right. Maintaining.
And I'm not
that
saying
is-
it's bad. I'm just saying it's not the healthier side of it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, treat your diet the way it should be treated, right? Like,
Yeah.
either follow the 100 words from CrossFit
Right.
or what's the other one? Shop from the outside of the store. Don't shop down the aisles.
Yep.
Be good 85% of the time and still
That
live your life
one
the
is
other 15,
huge.
right?
I mean, I went
Carrie's been big about that. She's told me that for years.
Yeah.
She's told many people that,
Yep.
hey, if you do it 85% of the time,
Yeah.
like you can still have 15% to live your life.
Yes. And you don't have to beat yourself up because trying to do things 100%, you're going to have errors in that.
There's going to be errors. There's going to be mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
There's going to be all kinds of
Yeah.
it, right?
Giving yourself a little bit of grace is huge. You're in it for the long game.
Especially if you're not an elite level athlete.
Right. Yeah.
I
Yep.
get it. Like, if you're an elite level, you have no choice.
Right.
That's their job. That's what they're trying to
Yes.
do, right?
But
like,
everyday athletes, your kids have things. You get busy. You're going to go on vacations. You're going to do life things. Don't beat yourself up over those things.
so the guy that got me started way back, the couple things he told me in the beginning, we went 60 days initially. The few things he said was, eat nothing with added sugar for 60 days. Eliminate all added sugars, period. Read the labels.
Yeah.
He said, And don't be the guy. Don't be the guy that goes to a function or some family event or somebody invites you somewhere that takes your own food. Enjoy yourself
Yeah.
that one time.
Yep.
Be smart about what you're eating and how much you're eating.
That doesn't mean go overboard.
And then next day, get back on it.
Yeah.
So for 60 days, I did. And over that 60 days, I think I went from like I was probably low 190s down to like 175.
Jeez.
He told me, he said, your internal temperature will turn up because you're doing this. And I used CrossFit and training to supplement that.
Yeah.
Right. Or to accommodate.
Right.
To go along with. No sugar into me. Like I followed and I ate, I paid attention to labels and I started reading things. And then you start to realize how much you do put in, what you do eat, and how much you do eat.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Tracking things for a short amount of time gives you an idea so you can ballpark for a long amount of time.
Exactly. Yep.
That's helped me a ton. I used to track everything, and now I know if I have these certain things, I'm going to be in my window that I want to be in. Because you have to, like, habits are built over time.
Yeah.
You don't just start doing this and it's easy the next day. Like, you have to do it every day, and then it becomes a habit, and it's still not easy, but you're working on it all the time. That's just life.
So I was reading, Corey put out a post the other day that said, do you really think you're going to break 15 years of bad habits in 15 days when you see no results in 15 days?
Right.
And I'm like, people want, especially in this world nowadays, instant gratification.
Absolutely.
It took you 15 years to develop to get where you're at. You're not losing it in 15 days. He's right.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Look. This time it's moving. It's moving a lot this time. It took a long time to warm up last time.
How individual they
I
are.
know. It's pretty wild.
I love it.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, man.
I don't know what we got going on. Anything coming up? You guys doing a competition this weekend?
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Look, that's our rant about nutrition.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Make good choices for a long time.
That's a good way of putting it, actually. Make good choices for a long period of time. Like, yeah.
And have grace with yourself.
I always just say, eat whole foods in moderation.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's really where it's at. Eat whole foods in moderation.
Yeah. And work on your mental side of things. Understand, that's a huge, understand why you're doing things.
That's a big one I'm trying to get through to people now. Like, why?
Yep.
Why are you doing it? And everyone's somebody different, right?
Yep.
I'm doing it for my performance.
Everyone's reasons are different.
I'm doing it for my performance. I'm doing it for, because I want to look good come summer, because I want to get back to where I used to look.
Yeah.
Like, there's all these reasons. Like, you need to make...
You can't just say the things and then not put in the work.
And expect to get the result you want.
Yep. For anything.
And we sit here and say this. I've been doing this for so long. We sit here and say this. It seems so common sense to me. Anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got to remember, not everybody thinks that way.
Yeah.
Not everyone goes along those same lines of, like, you need, like, this should be so plain and simple.
Yeah. And I get it's frustrating, because even I still struggle with the timing of things. Like,
now, the other part of that, though, it goes the other way too. It goes the other way. Do you want to be do you want to lift more?
Right.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I want to lift heavier, and I want to get stronger, and I want to move more weight. Well, guess what? You're going to put on weight.
Yep. That's just how it goes.
You're not going to lift more and not put on muscle.
Yeah.
As you lift heavier, put on muscle, I'm not going to gain any weight. Bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
When you put on muscle, you put on weight because you've put on muscle. Now, a pound is a pound. I get it, whether it's a pound of fat or a pound of muscle. It's a pound. Muscle takes up less room.
Yep.
And guess what? You still look good, and you're still lifting more.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So, there is a happy medium here somewhere.
Yeah.
What we go back to, what do you want? Well, I don't want to, I want to be strong, but I don't want to lift heavy. So you want to be strong relative to your body size. That's fine.
Yeah.
And you want to move really fast. Then you're probably not going to gain muscle. You're going to maintain where you're at.
Yeah.
And if you eat right, you're not going to gain any body fat.
Right.
So guess what? You're exactly where you want to be. There's a formula.
Yes. Yeah.
And
but you can't have things out of every basket.
You can't do that. So
It would be nice sometimes, but
sometimes it would.
You can't.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I could eat boxes of Little Debbie's and still look good. Have abs. No.
just take Little Debbie's. Like,
Right? Look at these bad boys.
man, I have like 2 little baby ones,
What? Look
are
at you
there.
go.
but they're like shy, so they don't want to come
They
out
don't
all the
pop
time.
back. We're talking about your abs like there's somebody.
They are.
2 guys that popping out your stomach. Bam, bam.
I gotta have on the right leggings to like hold the extra skin down too, so you can see them.
Jesus,
Yeah,
here we
but
go.
they're kind of there. It makes me excited. Yeah.
I don't know what else we got going on. We got
Well, what do you have going on? Why can't you come to the competition this weekend?
all right. So, guys, so everybody knows if you do watch this, or if this comes out, I'm not
yeah.
sure. When are we going to release this? What are you going to do?
Maybe Wednesday.
You're going to come out Wednesday.
Wednesday's
So this will
a good
come
day.
out before the competition. I wanted to go.
I wish you could.
I do. I
need
wish I'd
somebody
go
to yell at
wish
me.
I'd go and coach you guys.
Well, I don't need coached.
My daughter has another pig show. She's running another second jackpot show like
Heck
we
yeah.
did at the 1st of January
Yeah.
down in London. So I'll be with her. And it sucks because my wife doesn't compete often.
I
Like
know.
very, very seldom.
I know.
And she's competing.
She's in the same fucking heat as me.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm gonna do? Same thing I always do when I work out with her. We're on the same round. It's fine. She's like 3 ahead of me, but she's on the same movement as me.
That's
I'm like, we're
awesome.
together. This is great.
So I don't get to go see that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss her competing, which I always said it was. When I said I was retiring, I said maybe we should switch spots. Maybe you should start competing, and I'll be your bag boy. Like I'll
She
just carry her
hates
sitting around.
competitions.
She does. She is not competitive. She's competitive.
Yes.
Listen, you ever heard the story about me being put in the wall? You ever hear about that in our first house?
No. But
So
I can see
she's
how it would
competitive.
happen.
So it was so funny. We lived in a trailer.
Yeah.
And our couch sat kind of like I'm sitting now, and there was a walkway behind us, and it was in the living room. And our first bathroom was right around the corner. And we're sitting there, and I don't remember. One of us, I can't remember exactly, one of us said they had to pee. And the other one said, me too. Well, I got up and went this way. She got up and went that way. And when she did, we met at the same time, right at the hallway. And she hip checked me. Listen, when I say I went through the drywall, I'm legit, no lie. She hip checked me. I went into the wall,
Oh.
through the drywall, and was sitting in the wall with the insulation. Literally.
Fucking great.
She didn't fucking stop to make sure I
She
was
had to
okay.
pee.
She went in the bathroom, shut the door, and peed, and I'm climbing out of our wall. I was like,
Fucking
so when I say she's competitive, listen,
Oh yeah.
she's competitive.
Oh yeah, she is.
She doesn't like to do competitions.
Yeah. Competitions
So-
are a whole different beast.
So
And-
she signed up for the competition, and then we find out there's another jackpot show.
Yeah.
We got Maggie signed up for it. Find out it's on the same day. It's on Saturday.
Which
so
sucks.
I'll be in London with her.
Nice part is this one, like, well, and there's gonna be a couple people there
Yes.
at least, and we're not all in the same heat, so we can get videos, we can get some pictures, and they do like live recording sometimes too from that
Nice.
one. So, because Haley and I did this same, it's like a global competition, and then different regional gyms can host it.
Cool.
So we did it in, was it Cleveland last year? I think.
Somewhere up there.
Yeah,
Up around Cleveland or something.
Yeah, so we did this one last year, and it was a cool competition. And they
Cool.
have good workouts, so it'll be what it is.
It'll be fun. So
Yeah.
I'll be down there, and then I think she's gonna finish up. And they said on the thing, you guys are done by like 3:15. Supposed to be,
day.
because it's in heats instead of a shotgun.
Yeah,
So
which
then,
I appreciate.
Then she's gonna get ready and come down and meet us down there for the next day because it's a
Okay.
2-day,
Yeah.
2-day jackpot.
Yeah.
So we'll be down there with her showing pigs.
Yeah.
Again,
Oh, we're-
next Saturday's class is canceled. I'll have to cancel it between the coaches working and going to the competition. We don't have anybody here to run class. So there won't be any class on Saturday. If you feel like you missed something and missed fitness, you're going to open on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Mariah's going to have open gym on Sunday sometime in the morning. So come in, get your fitness in on in.
Yeah.
I can put a workout in for you. If you want, I can throw one in and you guys can have it for Sunday.
That's a good
It's
idea.
up to you guys.
People like structure.
I know CrossFitters are really bad about it. Like,
My God.
especially when I give you the option to do things, people are like, which one should I do? I'm like, I don't know, it's for you to choose.
That was fun on
right?
Was that Thursday? I like that.
Choose your own adventure.
I had so much fun coaching that because I was like, you're on an adventure. But they didn't appreciate it.
No?
No.
Why not?
I had already done it though.
Yeah.
So I love doing that. I love doing the workout and then coaching because I have my own little tips to give. When I have to watch 2 classes, do it, and then just think about me doing it the whole time, that's horrible.
See, I can't. I have a hard time on Saturdays doing that. Like, I have a hard time on Saturdays coming in to coach it and then work out right after. Number one, I feel like I put a lot into coaching. And it's really,
draining.
It is draining.
Yeah.
The other part is, I don't like watch you do it.
My
like,
God,
when me
I
and
don't
Tim
want to do that if you just died. Like,
right. Me and Tim used to compete. I'd always go first. We'd be in the garage. There'd be times like, hey, who's going to go first? We'd flip a plate, like a 2.5 pound plate, who goes first. And that was very seldom because I'd always be like, listen, I'll just go first.
Yep.
And we just kind of knew that I was going to go first.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to watch him die.
Practicing our competition workouts, Haley was like, well, it's Frank and Fran. So it's thrusters and pull-ups and burpees over the bar. She's like, who goes first? I'm like, me.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch you do your first round and watch you.
I don't need to know how bad it is.
Nope. I want to know. I'm going to do it myself. So yeah, I was always the first one to do the qualifier workouts in the garage, and then he would go after me because I don't want to watch him, like, especially what it takes to do a qualifier.
Yeah.
Like, and
sell your soul.
And you hurt, and
you have to see that really firsthand.
Yeah. So like, I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to do them, be done with it, and move on.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's how I
so we got
too.
that. And I'll send the email out to make sure everybody knows this week.
You're releasing Erg Challenge soon.
I'm going to probably release it at the end of the week.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the 1st.
Yeah.
But I'll release it a couple days early and let people start fretting over it. It'll be fun.
I laugh and then I remember that I will be fretting over it.
You have to do it.
That person.
And talking to people about having them on.
Yeah. I think that's fun. I've had a couple people talk about wanting to come on here and talk about like their businesses. I mean, we have people doing all kinds of stuff in here, from their own businesses they've started, from foundations they're helping, like just all kinds of stuff that we want more people to know about. So, because they're doing really cool, awesome fucking things. So their stuff needs to be shared too, because everybody's impressive here, and there's just so many different walks of life. So.
We do. We have a. Carrie always comes and says, like, very type A driven personalities are drawn to CrossFit.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're well driven. Because they find CrossFit, and that's the same type of idea.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have a lot of type A personality, highly driven, highly successful people. In here. And I like to hear everybody's story. Like, I want to hear how you got started, or hear behind the scenes, like how you got to that point, because you know what I mean? Like, I've shared mine quite on a few podcasts, like where I've gotten to now, you know, and the things I had to go through. And I had a bunch of messages, especially after I did Corey's, the very initial podcast. Like, I had a bunch of messages of like, dude, like, you're inspiring. Like, you fought through all of that and you came out the other side, and you're doing what you do now.
And you're still here.
And I'm still here, right?
Yeah.
So like, I want other people to experience that too, to realize that their story might inspire someone else, or might help somebody else that may be in a dark spot.
Right. And they're not going to say it, but they might take little pieces from your story or their story. Like, and I love that. Like, I love people helping people, maybe not in a direct way. Like,
that's pretty cool too. Like, that you don't even know how many lives you may have impacted that you don't ever find out. Yeah. Like, they do find a little bit of light in something that you said, or a way that you said it, or what you've been through, and they've been through something similar, and they're like, man, he's still going. Like, I can still go too.
Even my post this week, like my pictures side by side, like the 5 years ago, but now. I had so many people come up to me this week and just thank me for like being vulnerable and sharing, because they're going through something, or they are trying to get over something similar, and it helps to see that you're not alone in that stuff.
Of course.
So, and I think the people here that have all these different things that they're a part of and helping out, like having them have another platform.
All of them have something to share too.
Yeah.
Right? That is definitely probably going to help somebody.
Yes. Yeah.
So, hey, like,
why not talk about it on another thing? And
Right?
why not maybe reach different
So
people? And
I never thought that in the beginning either. Like when Corey was like, come tell me your story. And I was like, sure, I'll sit down with you and tell it. And then
Yeah.
he was like, how about doing it on the podcast? And I was like, what? Hold on, dude. Like, you mean for like a whole bunch of people here? Like, is
Yeah.
that what we're talking about? You know?
Yeah.
And then when I did, and I realized that it, like, he said it was almost like it probably felt relieving.
like a therapeutic.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, one of the biggest therapeutics parts of it was being able to tell my story freely
Yeah.
and not have to edit anything, and Maggie get to hear it.
Yeah.
That was the coolest part. Me and him talked about it a lot. Like, you got to tell your daughter the story without directly telling her, because you wouldn't tell it the same directly to her
Yes.
that you would openly to him,
Yes.
and let her hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So like when it was over and she listened to it, she sent me a text that was said, I love you and I'm super proud of you. So like I got to do that. And I got to do that not only with her, but I got to do it with people.
Yes.
So like I didn't think at first being on that podcast was going to do that. I just thought, oh my God, like I'm going to share my story to the public. Like,
Right.
fuck.
Yeah.
But like I realized that the story is it helps me.
Yes.
It does help me to talk about things.
Mm-hmm.
And it does help other people to hear me talk about them
Yeah.
that I didn't think that was a thing.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I mean?
cool to see how it reaches other
Yeah.
people and how it affects them. And
So when you tell the overall general story, it does, and then there's a ton of small stories inside of there.
Yeah.
Right? Those are more for the entertainment side. Like, don't take that I did bad shit as entertainment, but like
I think
there
it's entertaining.
are a lot of people do. A lot of people think it's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
Like just told the story multiple times last week when people were talking about something. I was driving down the road one time shooting a gun out the window at some people at a car. Like, and people were like, what? I'm like, so I told the story, right? People threw some stuff on my car. I shot at them out the window. We had a high-speed chase, so I was shooting, like...
no big deal.
I know. And at that point, it wasn't.
Right.
People were looking at me like, I just don't see you as that person.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Right.
I'm like,
That
Yeah.
was who I was, and then the whole transition in between. Like, anybody now, you can become whatever the fuck you want
Sure
to
can.
become, because look what you can do from that amount of time.
oh, yeah.
I mean,
Now,
Yeah.
granted, it took me prison
yeah.
and a wife,
Mhm.
right? Like, my whole mindset shifted when I married her and
Yeah.
things happened. Like, all of that changed
Right.
in me, but it was a contributor to it.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to find yours.
Mm-hmm.
What is your switch?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Some people, that's a rock bottom thing, but
Some people it's a rock bottom, and some people, hopefully maybe we sit here and do this or bring somebody else on that
Yeah.
they don't have to hit rock bottom before that
Right.
happens. Maybe it's before that happens and they go, oh, all right,
yeah.
fuck it, I
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No, I think that's a cool way to look at it, like helping other people.
yeah. And that's what I'd like to do. That's ultimately in the end what I want to do with the story more than
Yeah.
the entertainment side and stuff. Like, there are some funny things in my life that we did or that don't involve hurting other people, that were just dumb, that are so like, and we'll get to them
Yeah, oh
eventually.
yeah.
We'll have story time in here, I imagine, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you some stories or let a few things out there for people to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom,
Yeah. Sorry, Meredith.
she messaged me after the first episode and said, "What am I going to be upset about?" I'm a different person now.
You know what? And like, your mom's, I know you're, look, and I know I love your parents to death. I do. Me and your dad, like,
Yeah. Click.
fucking big time, right? I love your dad.
Yeah.
So like, your mom is super, I don't think is so much mad and not even disappointed, more surprised.
Yeah.
There might be a surprise in there
Yeah.
to her
Yeah.
that her baby girl could do the things that you did or
Yeah.
needed to.
Yeah.
Um,
Nathaniel came up to me too, and he was like, "What was that little last bit?" Which also, if you heard that, thanks for listening to the last minute. But he's like, "What was that little bit about getting in people's apartments?" I was like, "Oh,
Like,
you heard that, did you?"
he was one of the first ones that come up to me and said, first 3 minutes I was laughing so hard at you two. I'm like, cool. That's awesome.
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah, I didn't think your mom's gonna be so much mad or upset as much as maybe surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's usually what I get. I get a lot more of like, there's no way you used
yeah.
to be like that.
The people's apartments thing. I mean, I didn't ever get in trouble for anything, but when I was married and oh God. All right, we're just gonna
We're just gonna let some out there right
yeah,
now.
I mean,
And then we got another episode. We'll
my
do another
ex-husband
episode.
like worked for the maintenance company for some apartments, and sometimes you like stole people's shit to like. And it wasn't anything major. It was like
Listen.
loose change a lot of times because that's how poor we were. And then you take change and you turn it in so you can have money to fucking eat. Like, I am not that person anymore.
No, you're not. You're
And-
not that person. You work hard now.
Yeah.
You're a coach or
Yeah.
you're a meat inspector for the state. You know what I mean? So
But also, if I stole your change back in the day, I'm really sorry. Like,
she's sorry.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
you know, the rock
But
bottom thing we talked about?
She
Like,
hit rock bottom, and you know what? She's not there anymore.
Yeah.
You know what?
And when people say, like, that doesn't seem like something you would do, that's because that wasn't me. I don't even know who that person was. Like,
And I look back on me the same way. I look back and I'm like, oh, dude, that was fucking weird. Like, that is weird that I was.
doesn't even feel like the same
No,
lifetime.
it doesn't. Like, it doesn't. Like, it's hard to believe. Like, oh, I was bad, like real bad,
I know.
and I don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to look back on that.
Yeah.
And-
Which is
and
good. I mean,
I think so. Like, we was talking. I don't remember who I was talking to the other day. I said something about being an addict.
mhm,
You know what I mean? And they always say once an addict, always an addict. And there's part of that that's true.
mhm.
But I found other things to be addicted to.
Yeah.
So like, I don't ever have an inkling to ever do drugs again,
Yeah.
ever. It doesn't, it's just not a thing in my head anymore. It's not,
Yeah.
when I first got out to go get my blood drawn
Mm,
was bad.
mhm.
Like, I remember my first time to get my blood drawn for a physical, to have that lady put a needle in my arm. I had to ask her to stop. Like, I was sitting there like this, and I started to shake, and I could literally feel sweat coming on. And
Yeah.
she goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "Can you give me a second?" Like, I had to ask her to stop so I could set myself right to have her do it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, there was still a chance in the beginning that
Right.
there was a chance.
Yeah.
Anymore, like, I don't even think about it. Like, it's not even an inkling. So like, they say once an addict, always an addict. Yeah, probably true, but not an addict to what you were.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like I've gotten over the fact of ever wanting to do a drug again.
Yeah.
Doesn't even cross my mind ever. See people doing them, watch a show about them.
Yeah.
Somebody talks about them. It's not something I'm like, oh God, don't talk about it. I would like to.
Right.
I'm past it.
Well, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, being past that person that we once were
Yes.
is a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. It might take a long time, but
Listen,
it's
took
possible.
me fucking over 6 years
Yeah.
to get past that finally.
Yeah.
And that was 6 years of prison.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
It did take time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it takes help.
Yep.
Sometimes it takes more than just you.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good
cool.
way to end it. We got more stories. It
Oh, yeah.
might not be so like strict next time. Sorry,
We
Mom.
just wanted to make sure me and you, we did
Yeah.
talk off scene. We did talk off scene about the nutrition thing.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted to let people know that like, sometimes it's boring.
Right.
Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's the things that they're not fancy and they're not cool, but they get you to the goals that you want to get to.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it carries right. It's simple.
Mhm.
It really is. It's simple, and everyone really probably knows what they should be doing. It's not easy.
Right. You gotta keep putting the work in every single
So
day.
we did talk. We did want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, to make sure people understood that. And
Yeah.
discuss some things here at the gym, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Well,
Yeah.
Next one, who knows? We don't even know where we're at for the next one. So
I don't even know what day it is. So Sunday.
it is Sunday. I think it's the 23rd.
I have absolutely no
I
idea.
think. Boy, whoa, watch
I don't even know
out.
what time it is.
26. Holy cow! Wow, we're on it. We got it. Don't worry.
Ah, we're
So,
doing great.
training this week. Be good.
Yeah.
Should be good.
Yeah.
There's some some good stuff in there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna dial it back a little bit towards the end of the week, just
yes,
so I have good
anybody
means for
that's
the
competing, if
competition.
you're watching this, if you're competing towards the end of the week, dial it back a little bit, kind of go into it and deload.
Yeah,
Go into
still
it. You guys go
move a
kick some
little.
ass. All right.
I'll try.
Go
Try not
get
to
'em.
throw up.
All right. Till next time. We're out.
Oh, I did them. I
Peace.
did the finger guns.
That's your ending.
Shit.
Oh.
All right. That's the ending. Okay.